week, the trendsetter in professional wrestling comes to you from Salt Lake City, Utah. We come to you from the gorgeous E-Center, site of the Winter Olympics coming up in the year 2002. Tonight, WCW Monday Nitro is on the air from the Rocky Mountains. Tony Schiavone, the living legend Larry Zbyszko, the Professor Mike Tenay, and the gorgeous Nitro girls begin things. And I tell you, you're talking about red hot as we look at what is going on within the New World Order. You can definitely say that tempers are at an all-time high in our sport. Living legend Larry Zbyszko, there is nothing like beginning 3 hours of WCW Monday Nitro with the most gorgeous ladies on cable TV.
Well, gets the blood pumping, don't it? But you talk about the dissension, talk about the disorientation in the New World Order. It's starting to crumble for the black and the white.
You're looking live now at the E-Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. This is our second appearance. It was back here in September of 1997, our first appearance in Salt Lake City. Also saw the debut of, at that time, an unheard of by the name of Goldberg. And boy, have we heard of him since that time. Goldberg, of course, the heavyweight champion of the world. Well, during the course of this program, as you might imagine, the top stars in pro wrestling are here, including, we understand, Kevin Nash is here tonight. The Giant is here tonight. We also understand that we're going to have some of the stars from New Japan Pro Wrestling join us, as well as the Ultimo Dragon, one of the most feared men internationally. Scott Norton is here as well. And as this capacity crowd awaits the arrival of our first match, my goodness, Mike Tenay, that's NWO music.
Can you believe it, Tony? NWO, the black and white, that music that we're so familiar with. Which representative is it going to be? Well, it looks like, well, in his own words, that would be medium sexy, the Nash Killer.
In his own world.
Well, he's always in that.
In his own words, and Mike referring to Thunder this past week from Oakland, California, when he considered himself medium sexy, the Nash Killer. And it's interesting that we heard from him immediately, well, I guess not immediately, but a few segments after you had replayed that up-close interview with Kevin Nash. Scott Hall, obviously, is firmly with the white and the black, has nothing to do with the Wolfpack now.
Well, so many people told me after viewing that interview, that one-on-one with Kevin Nash last Thursday on Thunder, it was a side of Kevin Nash that they had never seen before. But I can tell you, as soon as those cameras stopped rolling, that side of Kevin Nash that we're more familiar with certainly resurfaced. That was an angry Kevin Nash. As soon as the interview concluded, I know that he and Scott Hall have personal issues that they must settle.
Well, I think the issue, if nothing else, that is the reason that Scott Hall has done what he's done, is one simple thing, and that's money. And he made that abundantly clear on Thursday. Let's hear what he's got to say here tonight as we kick off Nitro.
Probably needs more money. Hey, yo. There's no reason for a survey tonight because everybody in Salt Lake came to see them. I don't think so. Anyway, bear with me for a minute. I'm sure you've heard the sad saga of Kevin Nash losing his little buddy. Hey, Kev. You know, Gilligan, he got real tired of sleeping on the top bunk while the skipper laid on his back and I did all the work. I don't see how you can call yourself the leader of the Wolfpack when you're not even a man. Wow. I'm so sick of hearing you whine and cry. You're an embarrassment to me and I used to call you my big brother. You're not half the man Hollywood Hogan is. Say what? Hey, love him or hate him, at least Hollywood Hogan is a man.
Wow. Holy smokes.
And in closing, everybody knows that the NWO Black and White is just two. Hit the music.
The war of the words, dare I say, have intensified, especially as far as Scott Hall is concerned, as he laid in to his former tag team partner, and I guess I could say former best friend, Kevin Nash. Wow, well, before we talk more about that and show you some of what went down 1 week ago on this program, I want to talk about, first of all, what you're going to see on this program this week. Ladies and gentlemen, the WCW Executive Committee has been meeting. They have determined the two top contenders to the United States Heavyweight Championship. These two men are Diamond Dallas Page and Bret the Hitman Hart. And on this program here tonight, these two men will wrestle, the winner being the United States Heavyweight Champion. Of course, the former champ is Goldberg, who is now the World Heavyweight Champion. I can tell you, DDP and Bret Hart on this program is going to light it up, Iron Mike.
Remember last Thursday on Thunder, Tony? Bret Hart issued a warning. No one is safe. He's going to do everything that he can to dispose of all the competition. We've seen the steel jacket tears on both Rey Mysterio Jr. as well as Booker T. Tonight, he gets a shot at the United States Heavyweight Championship in DDP.
And Bret Hart could walk away with the U.S. Heavyweight title, or it could be one Diamond Dallas Page.
Well, Bret Hart could do it. You know, he comes out week after week claiming to be the best there ever was, the best there ever will be, etc. Tonight, Mr. Hart, we'll see if you are.
Well, fans, at the top of the program, you saw what happened at the end of the program last week. At first, we thought that Hall and Nash were back together, but that was not the case. And it all started at the beginning of the program last week when Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, was calling for gut check with the Black and the White.
Goldberg, your days are numbered. I'm on the trail, and I'm going to prove to the whole world that you're a flash in the pan. If you didn't drop the ball, if you didn't let Goldberg mow you down, I would still have my belt. Tonight, it's gut check time for Black and White NWO. And I want to find out what you're made of and how loyal you are to the cause, brah. I'm calling you out tonight in the center of the ring. Goldberg beat me, that's true. And then right after that, he took your belt. I got a problem with this whole Goldberg thing around the horn. And you know something? That match should have never happened. So I want to find out where you're coming from, brother. And I'm going to put you in between me and the beloved one. You're going to be the referee tonight.
I can't be a referee. I don't know how to be a referee.
You're going to be the referee because you're going to call it black and white, right down the middle. Who rules and who drools?
And oh, big foot. That's his move. That's one of his moves. That's the setup to the leg drop. Diamond Dallas Page has come out of nowhere.
I think we have an update on DDP's condition.
Looks fine to me.
Runs over Hogan. Hello and goodbye to the disciple. And why not send Bischoff crashing to the mat?
Bang!
Oh, Hogan from behind now on DDP.
Diamond Dallas has no help here because Scott Hall is down.
Something's happening. Somebody's coming.
Fans erupt.
The big man, Nash.
Big sexy. Kevin Nash has come in.
And you know the friendship between him and Hall over the years.
All three organizations involved, WCW, NWO Hollywood, and now the Wolfpack.
Oh, yeah. Sexy has arrived.
Oh, Hogan's going for a ride.
Oh, look at this.
He came to help him.
He came to help him.
I don't believe it.
And Scott Hall jacks the jaw of Big Sexy.
Who's on whose side here?
And then a picture speaks 1,000 words. The embrace, Hollywood Hogan and Scott Hall, and the black and the white reign supreme at the end of Nitro 1 week ago. Was very confusing, but at the end, Living Legend, it became all very crystal clear.
Yeah, and very simple, too. If the money talks, Hall walks.
And how about Scott Hall earlier this evening? Not only questioning the leadership abilities of one Kevin Nash, but also questioning his manhood.
I can't believe nobody took me serious about my belt. Get that camera up here right now. I don't have the belt tonight. I left it with my brother and his attorney, my little brother. He said, "Big brother." That's what he calls me. I'm gonna take care of everything. But I got one of his top 10 competitors in the ring tonight. Johnny Boone, top guy. We gonna take care of it, brother. I'm gonna get it for you, brother.
Now coming to the ring without the World Television title belt is one Stevie Ray, who said he left it back with Booker T, and they're gonna get all this cleared up, apparently. Wow.
Buy that, Tony?
I don't know if I buy anything. You know, I was standing in the ring on Thunder this past Thursday in Oakland when he handed me this bogus note, a handwritten note that said he could defend the TV belt. That would not fly, and obviously one would think that all the turmoil surrounding that has caused him to maybe do the right thing and to hand the belt back to Booker T.
I wonder. The claims of Stevie Ray just seem to get more wild and more outrageous by the week.
Yeah, Stevie Ray doesn't seem like a happy camper here. I mean, he seems to be very focused on bringing his brother and him back together. Now, what Booker T has to say about that, I don't know.
Stevie Ray dancing back and forth, right and left combinations. Obviously against Johnny Boone, a man he considered a top contender. Johnny Boone, no match here for this mammoth man. Stevie Ray, here's a pickup. Hung him out to dry on the top rope. All in all, it's great to see that he does not have the belt around his waist. But, oh my goodness, foot to the chest, sending Johnny Boone on the outside.
Yeah, Boone hit that rail hard. Look at the aggressiveness coming out of Stevie Ray here, man on a mission. He's not cutting him any slack whatsoever, and that's good.
Now, I can tell you, I tried to follow up over the weekend, tried to get in touch with Booker T, try and confirm some of these claims from his big brother, Stevie Ray, but no luck once again.
I told you.
You must have wanted to.
He's number 8 on the list.
I don't know. He's not returning my phone calls. Can you believe that?
And all of a sudden,
He forgot the belt.
there's a roll-up from Johnny Boone. I can only think that...
I got his belt. He forgot it. You owe me some money, and I was getting it.
That's got to be Chavo Jr. based on what we saw on Thursday.
Yeah, check out the haircut.
And check out the belt he's got in his hands. Right now, if he's got the belt,
Well, where'd he get it?
that's the television belt he's got, and there's just slapjack 1, 2, 3. I thought he gave the belt back to Booker T. At least that's what he said on the way in. Chavo Jr. drops the television belt. Just bringing his belt out now. Answer this one, Stevie Ray. If you gave the belt back to your brother, yeah, look at this. He's trying to hide it from everybody.
Well, it's too late. Now
Forget
we all
about it.
saw it.
Well, I think it's very apparent that we've been caught in the midst of another lie. He's still in possession of that television belt. That's not his. Fans 1 week ago on this program, it was a horrible scene. As Buff Bagwell was trying to talk to Rick Steiner, Hollywood Hogan came out and threw him out of the wheelchair. When we come back, we'll get Rick Steiner's reaction live on WCW Monday Nitro from Salt Lake City. Well, 1 week ago, Buff Bagwell came out here on this program to set the record straight with Rick Steiner, the man he was in the ring against when he had his near career-ending injury. And then it all went downhill from there. Here's what happened.
A lot's happened since I've been hurt. I sit at home and I look at what's happening, and there's NWO red and black, there's NWO, it's just so confusing to me that the people have wrote me, they ask me each week, and I tell you what, there's just something I've got to do to get my mind straight. Like I said last week, Scotty Steiner's got to go on with his life, and Buff Bagwell's got to go on with his. And where it starts for Buff Bagwell is rehabilitation. And then after that, where it starts is I've got to face the man that did this to me, Rick Steiner, because I'm having a hard time getting something off my chest. You know what, Rick, when this happened to me, I had a lot of fans right.
Hey, whoa. You know something? The one thing I hate more than a couple cowards is a couple cripples. So the best thing for you to do, Hound Dog, is to stay back unless you want another leg broken. Now, hold on, brother. You don't need to do nothing except what I tell you. Now, when you joined the NWO, this black and white thing was for life, brother. When you joined the black and white NWO, I taught you how to be a man, so why don't you start acting like one? Wait a minute, little Buffy. All the babyface crap that I've been hearing out here, instead of Buff Bagwell, maybe it should be Cream Puff Bagwell. And by the way, I'm tired of looking at you, and you make me sick.
Hey, no! Oh my God! What in the world? How could you possibly get him out of here? Security, Dillinger. What kind of a? That is the most disgraceful, disgusting piece of human being on the face of this earth. All right, all of that happening, of course, 1 week ago right here on TNT on WCW Monday Nitro. And one of the individuals who was present for that travesty is my guest at this time. Please, here in Utah and around the country and around the world, welcome Rick Steiner. Tony, listen to that. We got the dog pound out here tonight, but Rick, on the serious side, as you know, over the past number of weeks, and I'm sure you've seen it all and heard it all, your brother, Scott, the man that you tagged with for so many years successfully with the world-famous Steiner brothers, your brother has asserted that he's always been the team, that you've never carried your share of the load.
Gene, I've been home for 2 months watching what's going on. I've been sitting home there with shoulder surgery, listening to my brother talk his trash. You know, back in Indianapolis, I confronted him with it, and all he could do is come out to the ring on crutches and cry in front of my face instead of confronting me right there.
He's not getting eye to eye or getting in your face on this subject.
You know, Gene, I started wrestling in high school and I started him in wrestling. I started college and I got him in there. I started WCW and I got him in there. The reason being, I thought if you can trust anybody, you can trust your brother.
You should be able to.
And I figured we could be a great team. But then now he thinks he can do it on his own. Well, if he thinks he can do it on his own, I think there's a pay-per-view in August. I may not be 100%, but I'm ready to take my brother on. I'm ready to put this thing to rest.
Man, I'll tell you what, I would like to see that. That, of course, is going to be at Road Wild in Sturgis in the Black Hills.
Yeah, if Hogan hasn't gotten into his head, if he's still got a backbone, if he's still got some guts, he'll be down there at Sturgis. But if he isn't, he'll come down crying again like he usually does. Gene, there's one thing I can't stand, is a stinking crybaby. And if there's one thing, there is no Steiner brother team unless Rick Steiner's involved, unless you have the dog pound. And if he wants to do something, he can come to Sturgis and he can prove it to me.
I don't know if that's going to heal any of the wounds that have been cut so very deep between the two of you and your relationship. You've got to remember, Rick, you are indeed blood brothers.
Gene, that all went aside when he jumped me in Indianapolis and he had one of the NWO guys put me out with a shoulder surgery. That's all set aside, that's done.
Is that shoulder set to go for Sturgis if indeed your brother accepts this match?
It's ready to go, Gene. Between me and you, I'm ready to take him on right now.
And psychologically, you're prepared to meet your very own brother?
I'll do whatever I have to do. He played the cards. He did what he thought, what he had to do. He thinks I'm the anchor. We'll see just how much an anchor I am when we get to Sturgis, Gene. See how much I hold him down then.
Well, I hasten to just warn you, he's got to accept that match. Maybe knowing your brother as of late, he's not going to be too excited to do that.
Maybe he'll come out in a wheelchair. Maybe he'll come out in crutches. Maybe he'll come out here and cry some more, Gene. I don't know. But he got any backbone. If Hogan hasn't got him, he'll come out.
All right. Well, Rick Steiner, I thank you very... What is going on here? Oh, my word. Hold on. Buff Bagwell, Marcus Bagwell, Danny Young, WCW trainer. Gentlemen, come on out here. Rick.
Marcus, what happened to you last week is a tragedy. Hogan thinks he can come out here and do whatever he wants to do. I know you wanted to bring me out and say something to me, and I feel like you being in that wheelchair, I went out in that match, wherever it was at, I went out there to win. I didn't go out there to paralyze you. I went out there to win that match, and I feel in some way that it's my fault you're in a wheelchair now. I feel it's my fault that you're in the situation you're in. And I just want to, say to you, I feel bad for what's happened. I feel bad for the situation you're in. If there's anything I can do, if there's any way I can help you out, I'll be there.
Marcus, certainly you've got to have some response to that.
You know what, Rick? Ever since this injury, I've had thousands of pieces of fan mail, and every piece of it asked me, do I forgive you? What are you going to do about the Rick Steiner situation? And at first, I'm not going to lie to you, Rick, I was mad about it. I was seriously mad. But over time, I don't know what's going on between you and Scotty. That's y'all's deal, What you've done to me has changed my life. It may not look like it right now sitting in this chair, but let me tell you something, brother. You've done something to me that's made me look at everything a total different. Each and every fan out here, I love them a totally different way. And it's all because of you, and I want to tell you, I forgive you for what you did for me, and I can't tell you what you just said, what it means to my heart. And I want to tell you, brother, I love you.
Rick Steiner, that's quite a... Let's look at there, embracing... Hey! Oh, this is insanity! Oh, my... Hey! Get out of here! What in the world is going on? Marcus Bagwell! Out of his wheelchair! Oh, no! Have people lost their minds here?
Now that the New World Order has...
Not only out of his wheelchair, he ripped off that neck brace.
Can you believe that?
It's been a setup!
That's the ultimate swerve.
Get out of here!
Can you look? And there's a man who just had shoulder surgery, and he cannot take too many blows from that steel chair. Well, apparently Bagwell is all healed, and this wheelchair's just been a guide.
Oh, that's sick.
That's the NWO for you.
That's how low they can go. That's horrible, fans. We'll be back. What a jerk.
All right, we're back with more WCW Monday Nitro here on TNT in Salt Lake City tonight at the E-Arena. And, of course, this sea of fans, I don't think I've ever seen quite so many signs. I don't know how many would be for my next guest. Please join me as I welcome the current reigning WCW Cruiserweight Champion of the World, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jericho.
I tell you, I think we're all really stunned by what we've just seen at the hands of Bagwell and Scott Steiner, but not stunned enough to call this guy a jerk.
You know what? I feel like a jerk because I should have known Bagwell was that low.
Gentlemen, as you know, this man very fortunate to have the Cruiserweight title. Quite a reception you're getting here tonight, Mr. Jericho.
Thank you, Gene Mean. And the reason why I requested this interview with you tonight is to address all of the faithful Jerichoholics here tonight and at home watching right now and let them know about the terrible mental anguish that I've been going through, the mental abuse that I've been suffering at the hands of Dean Malenko. A man who has gone so far as to interfere in all my matches, cause me to lose, stalk me from coast to coast, speak about my family, speak about my dead father, A man who even conspired with Arn Anderson to give me a vicious beating at Bash of the Beach. Why? Why, Gene Mean? I'll tell you why. Because he wants a shot at this belt. Because he knows he can never be a true champion, a true paragon of virtue, a true role model in my eyes or in the eyes of all the great people out here. But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, Mean Gene. I'm a fair champion. I am the greatest champion in WCW history. So what I'm gonna do is this. Next week in San Antonio, nice town, you told me so yourself. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a chance, Dean. I'm gonna give you a chance to feed your starving ego with the knowledge that you're the champ. But this is your last chance. This is the last time. This is the last dance, Dino Machino, because if you lose, you might as well pack up your bags and go back to fry cooking at Harry's Burgers in Tampa, Florida, because if you lose, you will never, ever get a chance at me or this belt again. So make it count, Daddy-O.
All right, I'd hate to bring up, at the risk of offending you, what if Malenko should be successful and defeat you, Chris Jericho?
What if, would've, could've, should've? Let's tune in next week and see what happens. But Dino, let me tell you this. I'm not gonna give this up without a little bit of a good old-fashioned Canadian fight. Thank you.
All right, Chris Jericho, 1 week from tonight in San Antonio. He wants Dean Malenko, and yes, Tony, he will put the Cruiserweight title on the line. Back to you.
As he says, for the final time, it'll be, I guess, Malenko's last chance at getting at Chris Jericho. Amazing to me that Jericho would even in any type of scenario agree to get back in the ring with a man who really doesn't want the title. He wants him, Dean Malenko. Speaking of titles, later on in this program, it will be the two top contenders to the U.S. title, Bret the Hitman Hart and Diamond Dallas Page, to battle. The winner will not only be the #1 contender to the world title, the winner will become the United States heavyweight champion. But we saw the top of the program, we heard from Scott Hall. That was all in response to an interview, Mike Tenay, that you got 1 week ago at the end of WCW Monday Nitro.
Hey, wait a minute, right there.
From Kevin Nash. Now, we are going to have that interview.
Hi, guys. Hey, Ledge, you miss me? I didn't forget you.
Oh, thanks for the toothpick, Hall.
Hey, I got something to say to everybody here and everybody watching at home. Since I've been hanging around Hollywood, I've been learning a lot about movies. And the #1 seller, like Hollywood Hogan knows, is action. So make sure that those guys in the truck don't run that sequel to Kevin Nash in Tears of Endearment, because if they do, I think I'm gonna puke. And Kev, I know you've been feeling a little bad lately. Why don't you try a little Monistat for that infection?
I was just going to say, Mike and Legend, I was just going to say that we are going to show you that interview that you conducted last week. It was really, really a heartfelt interview with one Kevin Nash.
Absolutely, Tony. Very different look, very personal, very revealing. Kevin Nash called me in for that interview with Scott Hall, and I guess we are. Are we going to take another look at it? I don't know.
Later on we are, and I guess Scott Hall does not want to see it. Well, fans, we're going to go to a break here on WCW Monday Nitro. Still to come in this program, Diamond Dallas Page and Bret the Hitman Hart, as we're going to go outside right now. What's this we're looking at? The star of the show. That's the star of the show. In a wrecked car, hit the wall. Is that where our star of the show parks his car? What is this all about? Fans, more to come on Nitro. This gets more bizarre as the minutes go by.
Welcome back, everyone, to the house that Goldberg built, the E-Center in Salt Lake City, for Monday Nitro.
You know, in fact, Moroni just sounded that trumpet announcing Goldberg's second coming.
Can you believe that, Scott Hall? Scott Hall apparently doesn't want that interview, Larry, that I conducted last, well, actually it aired last Thursday on Thunder. We conducted it last Monday on Nitro.
Of course,
with Kevin Nash to air.
Yeah, of course he doesn't want to see exactly what happened. He doesn't want to know that he's only going to be half the man Kevin Nash is. That's the fate of Scott Hall, along with Bagwell and Big Papa Pump.
All right, guys, I've been sitting here mulling over what we have just seen, and we've seen a lot so far, but as Steve Mongo McMichael walks out, the car that we saw out back here,
Star of the show,
wrecked up against the building here, that, you know what?
Who? What?
To me, that is a takeoff, that is a slap in the face of Jay Leno. You know how he parked his car for the Tonight Show? You know, Bischoff has been having his own segment here on the program. I mean,
the late show?
Yeah, that late show.
He's trying to compare that to the Tonight Show with Jay Leno?
I mean, I think that's what, all of a sudden I'm told we're going to go out back and I see this car smashed up against the wall. That's all it can be, Mike Tenay.
Why does Leno smash his car up against the wall?
That's not, Leno does not. Come on, Larry. You watch the Tonight Show with Jay Leno just like everyone does. And that was Bischoff's, I guess, attempt to poke, I don't know. Oh boy, Mongo sends down.
There's Mongo's attempt at taking off Sick Boy's head.
Bischoff's attempt at humor, I guess.
A hit humor, or to try to show up Jay Leno, or I don't know, maybe it's some commentary about Leno and the Tonight Show. 1, 2. But
I think it's just Bischoff's delusions of grandeur, and as the new world order, black and white, slowly crumble, Bischoff's grabbing at straws.
Well, he has come out here. He has had his own band. He has had his own segment that he calls his program.
Any idiot getting married hires a band.
Mongo runs right through Sick Boy. I really think that in many ways, if you hear Bischoff talk, that he feels he's every bit of a talk show host, just like a Jay Leno.
Maybe if I hit him in the mouth hard enough, his chin would get as big as Leno's.
Here's a pickup by Mongo.
Uh-oh, looks like we're going to see the Mongo spike. Oh, and he spiked Sick Boy.
The Mongo end zone spike puts Sick Boy down, and Steve Mongo McMichael is your winner here on WCW Monday Nitro. Well,
that's how you take care of a buck member. And a horseman that comes back, my lord.
Hey, thank you people all very much. Thank you all very much. It is wonderful to be in Karl Marone's hometown, especially after last week. Thank you people, but hey. When is this heat gonna let up anyway? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Matter of fact, listen to this. It was so hot today in Beverly Hills that the women of Beverly Hills actually had the pool boys cleaning the pool. Can you believe that? I mean, it was so hot today. Get this, Charlie Sheen actually paid the iceberg from the Titanic $500 for a lap dance. Am I too much or what? Hey, did you hear this? Listen to this. This is big news. On the news tonight, they reported that the Center for Disease Control says that people with diarrhea should not be allowed to swim in the swimming pool. I mean, come on. Do we really have to have a warning for this? I mean, hey, Bob, need some Imodium? No, thanks. I'm just going to go for a dip in the pool. Crack myself up. Hey, well, it looks like the Secret Service guys are actually going to have to testify after all. I mean, look, back in the old days, if you were with the Secret Service, you actually had to worry about taking a bullet for the president. Nowadays, you got to worry about taking a hickey, too. Oh, damn, I'm good. Hey, did you hear this? Kenneth Starr says that he wants a list of all of the places where Bill Clinton has slept. I mean, wouldn't it just be a whole hell of a lot easier just to get a list of the places that he hasn't slept? I mean, I know 2 right off the top of my head. With Hillary and at Janet Reno's place.
Hold on here. You know, I watched the Tonight Show Friday night with Jay Leno. Those are the same jokes.
Oh, this is fun as hell.
He's copied exactly what Leno said.
According to a researcher in Virginia, listen to this. You people in Salt Lake will get this one. Chickens need tender, loving care. You know the feeling, don't you, Liz? After all those years with Randy, you know the feeling. The researcher suggests that farmers give their chickens hugs and show them love, and if they do, their chickens will get bigger. I know it sounds strange, but if you think about it, it really seems to work pretty well here in Utah with the sheep.
He's ripping off his material for the monologue on Friday.
God, I kill myself.
Oh.
And speaking of Viagra, there's this crazy, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? Oh, you're too fast. Sit down and shut up. They got this crazy millionaire in Colombia, South America, you people know where that is pledging to give Viagra to every man in the country for free. You know, with their economy, I guess you could say they're hard up for cash.
This is such a ripoff.
Give me 5. Before we go, I know you heard this one. The state of California is putting a new tax on oversized vehicles. I hear they're going to start with Jay Leno's chin. I mean, what is that? That's like 10 in a row. But really, listen, I had a chance to meet Jay a couple of weeks ago, and Rodzilla and Hollywood Hogan took care of business. And actually, there's nothing wrong with Leno's chin that a few hundred years of evolution won't fix. But really, seriously, folks, you know, Hollywood Hogan bought me a couple really cool Harleys. And one thing that really gets under my skin is Jay Leno, you know, trying to be a biker. I mean, come on, this guy is to a Harley Davidson what Monica Lewinsky is to a swimsuit calendar. Where do I get this stuff? Well, hey, Jay, I'm just kidding, boy. Hey, Billy, is he taking it on the chin tonight or what? And you fans, stay with us. The real star of the show, Hollywood Hogan, is in town. He's going to be here tonight. He's going to tell you how he kicked the hell out of Karl Malone. We'll be back right after this.
Fans, we're back and ready for hour number 2 of WCW Monday Nitro. What a wild first hour it was, including with Bischoff ripping off Leno to the point to where he even stole his material that he used on Friday night on the Tonight Show. Who's he trying to fool? During this second hour, a lot going on. And we're going to begin things, ladies and gentlemen, with the interview that Mike Tenay conducted at the end of Monday Nitro last week when we were in Las Vegas. After Kevin Nash had helped Scott Hall, and Scott Hall had turned on Kevin Nash, Mike Tenay had an up-close interview with him. This originally aired Thursday on Thunder, and here's what they all had to say.
He's going through a lot of problems, and I'm not at liberty even now under the circumstances to explain what he's been going through, but he's had a lot of personal problems, and you know, I took that as, you know, he wasn't in the right frame of mind. I know he'd been manipulated, and I wasn't going to address it because I thought maybe that by not addressing it, it would go away, that he'd see the light. In the meantime, I mean, I've called him, he doesn't return calls. I've tried to talk to him at numerous arenas, and he walks away, and I don't know what the hell he's doing. He continually says to me that, you know, this is a business and it's about money, and that's fine, but I mean, you know, 2.5 years ago when we came in here together as the outsiders, I mean, we started this thing, and
fans, I apologize. We apparently have some technical difficulties, and we're going to try to bring you that tape. Obviously, Wait a minute, I'm told now a camera has dispatched back to the truck.
You got a minute?
That's Scott Hall in the truck.
Here's your fucking little bastard.
Scott Hall. Scott Hall obviously went right in the tape portion of this truck. And Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, as you're looking live out back at the E-Arena here, are getting it on. He was bold enough to go in that truck. Can you believe the arrogance? And yank the tape out of the tape machine.
He's got more problems than ever now. Look at Rude walked into one.
Uh-oh.
That's Rude and Hennig.
That's Rude and Hennig, and look at this.
Here come the NWO black and white troops out of the trailers.
No, Nash went to the wrong bus.
Scott Norton came out, and the disciple Luger has arrived. Conan members, they're Sting.
They're all out there.
It's an NWO Donnybrook. Black and white against red and black. And now, Hennig holding Kevin Nash. And Nash trying to fight him off. Oh my goodness. Whoa, can you believe that?
Well, keep it on, I want to see him get it.
Wait, well, hold on a second. We don't want any trouble up here now.
I don't want any trouble either.
All right,
hey,
go.
They say telling the truth takes less time, right? Well, the truth is I'm going to kick DDP's butt, and rather than telling it, why don't we just do it? Let's have this match take place right here, right now. I want DDP, and I want his butt in the ring right now so I can win the U.S. Championship belt, and I'm the rightful winner of this thing. I deserve that belt, and I'll prove it right here, right now. So where is he?
Well, look at our monitors. Mr. Hart, if you look at the monitors, that looks like that's Diamond Dallas Page.
I just got in the ring. Understand? Come on here.
Well, he's obviously been
to the ring.
I can't
understand.
I can't do that. He's obviously been attacked here. Look.
Oh, he's not hurt. He's fine. Get his ass out the ring.
Have any say in this matter?
We can't make the call here. And did you know something about this? Well, we got to get James J. Dillon out here, I would think. I mean, we can't.
If I were you, I'd just get in the ring and hold my breath.
Oh, come on, guys. This is all breaking down here. Let's just stay right where you are.
Coach.
Obviously, it's.
¿Qué le pasa? Una ambulancia. Eh? Coach.
We're looking back. We're looking back now live here, and there's Danny Young, our trainer, and Bret Hart.
If you want anything done, you go to the ring and do it like men.
Man, you know, Bret Hart just picking up where he left off on Thursday on Thunder.
What is the deal with the broadcast booth tonight? Talk about the center of activity.
Open season.
I don't know if it's coincidence. I don't know what it is, but obviously Bret Hart comes out saying he wants DDP right now, does not want to wait. And oddly enough, is it coincidence that we find in the back Diamond Dallas Page being laid out or has been laid out? Looks like he was knocked out.
Well, Tony, we don't have any proof, but it'd be an amazing coincidence. Wait,
James J. Dillon. JJ is here, right at our broadcast location. I'm not so sure what he said.
He took off.
He's really animated about something.
He's going to the ring.
Arms flailing away, and JJ will walk to the ring here. Don't forget, as we have told you, DDP and Bret Hart to battle for the United States title here tonight, the two top contenders. But JJ, wait a second here. He saw DDP back. What's he gonna do here? What decision will JJ make? What if he? Hold on, listen in. I think I heard him say we're gonna buy some time, although I'm not sure. What if DDP cannot compete? What if that happens? Would Bret Hart have a cakewalk to the U.S. title? JJ's walking in the back looking at his watch. You can't afford to go anywhere tonight. This is crazy. Before we go to our next match, just moments ago, this happened. Outside now, Scott Hall had gone to the truck when this interview was being replayed, and then as Kevin Nash chased him out, He, as you said, Living Legend, went to the wrong place because he went out to the trailer, the NWO Hollywood trailer, and the black and white descended on him.
Well, you had no idea that was them. It's just bad luck for Nash right there. The whole black and white NWO came out, and they started beating the heck out of him.
This was very unfortunate, and this was just one of the things that went down just a few moments ago. And you see members of the Wolfpack come in to his aid. I mean, it's very apparent that that Scott Hall did not want to see that interview take place.
Well, Tony, I remember that I asked Kevin Nash, how do you settle such a personal, volatile situation? And he said it might turn physical. He wasn't kidding, was he?
I guess not.
Fans, if I can right here, and I'm going to be honest with you.
Look at Ono. Where'd he get that suit, Austin Powers?
I don't know where he got that suit. If I will be permitted, and I don't know what's going to go on with Diamond Dallas Page, who was leveled, obviously. Something has happened to him, been attacked when he is just moments now away from going against Bret Hart for the U.S. title. But I want to let you know that next week, WCW Monday Nitro will come to you from San Antonio in the Alamo Dome. Tickets to the box office and Ticketmaster. That is next Monday, July 27th. Then the following week, Monday, August 3rd, we're going to be in Denver, Colorado in the Denver Coliseum. Tickets now available at all Ticketmaster locations. And then our first Monday Nitro ever in Rapid City, South Dakota will come your way Monday, August 10th. Tickets at the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center box office. Albertsons at 855 Omaha Street as well. We'll be talking about where you can see Thunder in the month of August, and some big on-sale dates for Hartford, Connecticut, Chicago, Rockford, Illinois, and Providence, Rhode Island later on in this program. It's going to be Sonny Ono's protege, Yuji Nagata, against Saturn in this next matchup. And fans, we are also, as we talked about with DDP, keeping an ear to what's going on in the backstage locker room area. Can DDP wrestle against Bret Hart in such a very important matchup for the United States title? We'll find out and keep you informed as situations dictate here.
Wow. Well, Tony, we hate to draw any conclusions, but remember the warning that Bret Hart issued last Thursday on Thunder, basically sending out that warning to everyone in the locker room. I think it's pretty amazing that with a matchup scheduled against Diamond Dallas Page for the United States heavyweight title, that all of a sudden we find DDP laid out flat.
You know, interesting, by the hands of the Red and Black New World Orders, Nash was almost left alone by the Red and Black New World. There's too many New World Orders here.
Well, they finally caught up with him. Sting got in there and Luger was there. But
did Sting and Luger, did they jump Diamond Dallas?
I would think not on the surface. I would say I wouldn't think so, but then again,
what if they did?
You never know. You know, it's just the timing was too coincidental, if you ask me.
Yeah, then all of a sudden he wants to have the match immediately. Come on.
Wants to have a match immediately. Either he knew he was down, DDP was down, or he was the perpetrator. And I'm talking about Bret the Hitman Hart. And to be honest with you, after what has happened here tonight, when he walked up here, it scared me to death.
Mouse scares you to death.
Well, so what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tony, but if Bret Hart didn't personally have something to do with that, the master manipulator, I'm going to be very surprised.
All right, fans, I've been handed a note that we're hearing that things backstage are just so intense between Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Just right now, they are finally settling both sides, sending both sides to their own respective trailers in the back. We understand that J.J. Dillon has just signed a match for later on here based on what has gone down. And, all right, here's what the match is going to be. It's going to be Kevin Nash and Sting, the World Tag Team Champions, to defend the titles here in this program tonight against, is this right, Scott Hall and the Giant in this program.
Whoa, that's a pure New World Order matchup.
That's coming up. What's coming up? What next?
NWO Red and Black against the NWO White and Black World Tag Team titles at stake.
They're going to throw them in the ring next because I guess they need to do it next because they don't. They're going to have it in the back locker room area. And based on what we saw just moments ago in that fight, World Tag Team title. Watch out. Inside cradle here by 1-2 by Saturn. Nash and Sting, the World Tag Team Champions, stay right where you are against Hall and the Giant, Larry.
Well, that's going to be something to see. I mean, the animosities are ready to explode. Saturn, couldn't hold him down. But again, the Black and White New World Order against the heavyweight tag team champions of the world. You know how bad Hall and the Giant want to bring back gold. The Black and White NWO needs gold.
Watch out.
Here comes.
Oh! It's Raven with the even flow attacking Saturn. Referee didn't see it from behind. And now the Nagano lock is a slam dunk. It's easy. This one should be, it is over.
He can't tap out because he's knocked out. So the referee makes the 3 count.
Yeah, Saturn doesn't know he lost yet. Sonny Ono, he'll take the victory. Here comes the flock.
The flock on its way out. Loading. Riggs. There's Horace. Easy pickings now. Kidman. And it's Canyon. Canyon has come in.
Fireman's carry into a flapjack for Horace.
How about that? Raven nowhere to be found.
That was a flatliner for, I believe, Riggs. Now it's Lodi.
Lodi down, and look at Kidman up top.
Oh, the hard way.
Canyon has come in and dismantled the flock here to help Saturn out of a very dangerous predicament.
We've seen that before. Canyon coming to the assistance of Saturn. He just pile drove him off the middle rope.
Did you see Kidman pop out of there?
Get a spatula for Kidman.
Kidman completely out, and Canyon has come in and dismantled the flock, helping Saturn out. And now we'll help this man out. Boy, you're talking about a needed man, right place at the right time.
Hey,
hold on a second.
He just saved him. No, not again. Death Valley driver on Canyon again.
You think
that's the second time that he tried to come out and save Saturn, and twice in a row he's been laid out with the Death Valley driver for his trouble.
Stay out of my business, Raven. I'm coming for you.
That tells you the story. He just don't want Canyon butting in.
All right, fans, we're gonna have that very intense World Tag Team title bout next, and an update on an injury possibly to Diamond Dallas Page. Stay with us on Nitro. You ever seen anything like this? I mean, you and I have called many big events, we've called many wild events, but nothing like this.
Oh, this is off the calendar. This is right off the scales. I was in the back, and I'm not sure what happened back there, but there's so much security there. I had to walk the other way around. I couldn't even go back. They got it with that yellow tape, like crime scene area, roped off back there.
The word that we received out here at the set was that the situation was boiling over backstage. They decided to send him out to the ring for a matchup. Now they couldn't wait any longer.
Well, they had me secured in the back. I couldn't even get to say anything, but you could hear the yelling and the screaming. They were shouting. Something was going on.
The World Tag Team Champions Sting and Kevin Nash make their way out. And I can safely say that never before in the history of this program, or I would say maybe any professional wrestling program, has there been a quicker turnaround time for a match. Usually the tempers flare, both sides agree, they sign a match, and later down the road, maybe later in the hour or the next hour, we have the match. But it literally happened 2 segments ago. And let me walk you through the steps. We talked about the very heartfelt interview by Kevin Nash up close that Mike Tenay conducted last week after we went off the air on WCW Monday Nitro in Las Vegas. We showed it in Oakland on Thunder last Thursday on TBS. We talked about showing it once again here in this program. Kevin Nash, of course, had a lot to say, and Scott Hall walked out and said, listen, we do not want to show that tape. Hold on now, he's got the mic.
Work with me, people. Salt Lake City, Utah! Wolfpack in the house!
Well, The Wolfpack obviously in the house. You can hear the cheers, you can hear the deafening boos here, but once again, Scott Hall comes out and says, we do not want to see that tape air. Well, we played the tape, at least as much as we could. The tape stopped in midstream. We got a camera to the truck. We saw Scott Hall coming out of the videotape portion of our truck with the tape. Confronted by Kevin Nash. They got into a fight. Both sides of the NWO got to a major round. And now, 2 segments later, we got a match. In the middle of all that, Bret Hart comes out, says he wants to face DDP now, threatens us. Our cameras find DDP. Cameras making their way back to the ring, by the way. Saw DDP injured, laying in the heat in the corner somewhere. Then JJ says, no, we're not going to have the match now. I'm going to buy some time. Catch your breath, because we are going to have a match right now for the World Tag Team Championship.
What Tony's trying to say is don't touch that dial. You don't know what's going to happen. Somebody bring some heart massage machine over here for Tony.
And I have to say, hats off to the executive committee. There was a problem in the back. They're sending him to the ring. Let's get this settled tonight.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, because fans want to see it.
Ditto.
They want to. If these guys want to settle personal vendettas, want to settle personal problems, the fans want to see it settled only one way, in the wrestling ring, and that's what the executive committee is doing right now. You're exactly right, Mike, today. Good move. All right. Catch your breath. We're going to give you an update as they become available on the injuries to Diamond Dallas Page. Mark Curtis, the referee. Look at the serious face on Sting, as well as Big Sexy, the Giant Killer. No love lost on either side with either men here, although I believe if there's any affection, if there's any still feelings anywhere, it's still probably that Nash has some sort of feeling towards Scott Hall. Wouldn't you think so?
You still think to this point?
I don't know.
I don't know. You ask me, that was strike 3, Tony.
Could have been.
I think he's out of chances at this point.
Of course, as of Thursday night when the interview first aired, Scott Hall still had some chances, but maybe so. Maybe it is strike 3, Mike.
You know, it's a shame because they were such a great team, Nash and Hall.
Oh.
Probably one of the greatest teams I've ever seen in this sport. To see them on opposite sides of that ring just doesn't seem right.
It is mind-boggling, isn't it?
And you top all this off with the rip-off of Jay Leno that Bischoff did with the car and the parking spot and the same jokes, some of the same jokes that Leno used Friday night.
Oh, I thought that was great. I was hysterical.
You would be.
You didn't think he was funny?
You thought
my ribs are hurting from the way I was laughing. How about the one about the...
Would you stop it?
What are you looking for, a sidekick's job?
Oh! Not me.
They lock it up.
Hey, Johnny.
Back in the corner, into the midsection. The Giant and Big Sexy get it on in the opening match here. A running lariat pinned the big man, and that big man getting pinned is pinned in the corner by another big man, and that is the Giant. This is what you call the super heavyweights of our sport going at it.
Whoa! Don't forget, Tony, it was that man there, the Giant Killer, Big Sexy, that power bomb the Giant not long ago almost broke his neck.
Sting in, trying to wipe out Scott Hall here, and he does a darn good job of it. Wolfpack in command.
All new meaning to the term Wolfpack rules. They rule the ring.
I think everybody here in Salt Lake City knows right now that the team of Sting and Nash is a pretty darn good team.
They are the World Tag Team Champions.
Tough to get much better than that. They hold the gold.
Leader of NWO Wolfpack, Big Sexy, and look at him standing. Look at him cheering. There is no doubt who the fans take to, the fans love. And you're not looking at one of them right there.
See, Scott Hall's had some personal problems, I understand. And isn't it just like Hollywood Hogan to slither on in there when a man's down on his luck, bail him out, not because he likes the guy, bail him out to help himself.
Because he knows he's going to use him down the line.
Use him down the line. Use him till he's all used up.
And you know, that's something we all see, seemingly with the exception of Scott Hall. It's all about money. He's in there with Sting, driving the shoulders into Sting, one of his patented moves. Full-on Dragon Twist, I'm told. We got to take a commercial break. The tape machines are rolling. So Should the match end during the break, we'll show you what happened. If not, the World Tag Team title, high intensity, still to come. We are back, and you are looking at the face of the Giant in what has been, in a short period of time, one of the most intense battles for the World Tag Team title in recent memory. Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and the Professor Mike today back with you. It's been a case of back and forth they go, and now the Giant gets the tag in against Sting.
Really has been a seesaw battle, especially during the break. The momentum going back and forth between the two New World Order factions.
All right, now quickly, an update on DDP's injury. Obviously, he has suffered an injury, but as it stands right now, the match against Bret Hart to determine a new U.S. champ is on. But James J. Dillon will not let the match go on immediately. He's trying to buy some time for DDP and for WCW. Hopefully, he'll be okay to wrestle later on. As it stands right now, injury law, DDP, and Bret Hart. Low bridge, here comes Sting. Oh,
there goes Sting.
Boy, you're not kidding, Brain.
Went to the well one time too often with the Stinger splash. The extended leg of the Giant stopped him dead in his tracks.
Giant to the attack again. Picking Sting up. Sending Sting in. Ducking low. Nobody home. He bounced off of it.
Did he ever? And look at the Giant. Like he didn't even know he was there, like a fly landed on him.
Almost the Giant just with that look to Kevin Nash, telling Nash that's what being a big man's all about. Low blow. Low blow. As lethal as ever, NWO Hollywood. Giant, Scott Hall. Personal vendettas running rampant here tonight.
Well, this Scott Hall really likes to rub it in, don't he?
Amazing what transpired in the span of 1 week. And you know what else is amazing? Almost look at the back of his trunks. Almost to show up, Kevin Nash. Hall has Wolfpack on the back of his trunks. Covers, legs on the rope, only got a 2 count.
Just more of the mind games that the NWO Hollywood faction is famous for.
Yeah, they're very good at it, aren't they? They may be the best.
Nobody better at getting under your skin.
Agitators.
Then NWO Hollywood
Instigators.
Going so far as trying to agitate and instigate and try to get under the skin of Jay Leno here tonight. From out of the mouth of Eric Bischoff. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. The new lows that they'll stoop. And how about Buff Bagwell? And Big Papa Pump attacking Rick Steiner. I mean, this has been NWO Hollywood tonight at its worst.
Welcome to the WCW's Cuckoo Nest.
And I tell you, say what you want to about them, and we certainly have. They are truly the most dangerous. They'll stoop to new lows. There's nothing they won't try or nothing they won't do.
And it all is because of money. There's so much money now. And that's what's causing all this, and ego.
Sting comes out with a desperation hip toss, breaking away from the Giant. Tag. Scott Hall and Big Sexy's in. Watch out.
Oh!
He comes in, roaring away.
And he didn't hold back. He didn't backpedal a bit. He went right after that 520-pound, 7'4" Giant.
Forearm shot.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
This is what we wanted to see.
Welcome home, Scotty. Beat me someplace.
Nash scoops up. Scott Hall holds him up. Scott Hall slipped behind, trying to shove him in. Too much bulk there. Too much bulk. And he laid him out.
He's out.
You can see it in the face of Kevin Nash on that one.
Well, he said he might have to beat some sense into him, and doesn't look to me like Scott Hall's getting any smarter, but he might.
He's gonna try to jackknife him, and the Giant's not gonna have any of it. The Giants saw it coming at the same time.
He's been there. He knows all about it.
Sting with a low blow.
That evened the score.
You're not kidding, it did. Sting drives the Giant back in his corner with bodies everywhere. Remember, the Giant are making Scott Hall and Kevin Nash the legal man, and they're standing everywhere in Salt Lake City, Utah.
So close. Just inches away now.
Look. He made the tag. Scott Hall tried to pull him back, could not. Stinger, the freshman, the legal man. Here he comes. He's gonna do it again from the other side. Nowhere to go but down. And Scorpion deathlock. Giant in. Nash is
Giant down.
Nash cut him off.
He's turned him.
Who's that? That's Bret Hart. Bret Hart's got what in the devil is he doing here?
Have no idea.
Sting shoved him down. Sting nailed from behind by Scott Hall.
Outsider's edge.
That's his move. Cover 1, 2. We've got new World Tag Team Champions.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Thanks to that man, Bret Hart.
The instigator right there.
The master manipulator, Bret Hart, strikes again.
And he's been involved in everybody's matches. From the first to the last match, every night. That's what this guy's about.
Oh, take a breath. What intense action we had. We hope to get another update on DDP when we return our new World Tag Team Champions here on Nitro Live.
Oh, my. Oh, what a match, huh?
Well, fans, take a breath here because certainly here at the broadcast location we need to. Tonight on this program, we have the crowning of new World Tag Team Champions. In a match, when we started the program back at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we never thought we'd have. Scott Hall and the Giant are new World Tag Team Champs thanks to one man, Bret the Hitman Hart.
The master of manipulation, Bret Hart, has certainly made his presence felt over the course of the last couple of weeks, and especially tonight here at Nitro. You know, he still has that matchup with Diamond Dallas Page yet to go, United States heavyweight title at stake.
You know, you could see the frustration last week on Hogan. He was out all the time. He was in everybody's face. Same thing's happening with Bret Hart right now. He sees that's the way to make his point. Somebody's going to stop him, and it may be tonight.
Earlier in the night, tonight, Bret the Hitman Hart came out and confronted us, saying that he didn't want to wait till later in the program. He wanted Diamond Dallas Page out here right now. Well, our cameras who had been outside just a few seconds before, showing the fight between NWO Hollywood and NWO Wolfpack, the red and the black and the white and the black, caught Diamond Dallas Page in a heap injured. And obviously it was, to me, wasn't a coincidence. I really think Diamond Dallas Page was attacked by Bret Hart.
Well, it hardly could be a coincidence, Tony. Whether it was Bret Hart that did it or Bret Hart that arranged for it, you know that the Hitman played a part.
Here's what happened just a few moments ago on this program live. Wait, well, hold on a second. We don't want any trouble up here now.
I don't want any trouble either.
All right,
hey,
go.
They say telling the truth takes less time, right? Well, the truth is I'm going to kick DDP's butt, and rather than telling it, why don't we just do it? Let's have this match take place right here, right now. I want DDP, and I want his butt in the ring right now so I can win the U.S. Championship belt, and I'm the rightful winner of this thing. I deserve that belt, and I'll prove it right here, right now. So where is he?
Well, look at our monitors. Mr. Hart, if you look at the monitors, that looks like that's Diamond Dallas Page.
I just got in the ring. Understand? Come out here.
Well, he's obviously been
to the ring.
I can't
understand.
I can't do that. He's obviously been attacked here. Look.
Oh, he's not hurt. He's fine. Get his ass out the ring.
Have any say in this matter?
We can't make the call here. And did you know something about this? Well, we got to get James J. Dillon out here, I would think. I apologize. We were really off a step there. Didn't know what to say. Second time someone had stormed the broadcast location. Oh boy, I smell a conspiracy.
You know, they said maybe it's a coincidence this happened to DDP. There's no coincidences here at WCW. That was meant to happen. He was ambushed.
You're right.
Of course I'm right. I beat the brain. But then again, he could have just passed out from the heat. Hot here, you know.
Well, I was waiting to hear something lame from you, and I heard it.
But I doubt it. They beat him up. They jumped him, whoever it was.
Well, fans, once again, the match as it stands right now is on. Diamond Dallas Page and Bret the Hitman Hart. Of course, after Goldberg won the world title back on the 6th of this month from Hollywood Hogan here on this program, there's been some speculation about what WCW would do to crown a new U.S. champ. Of course, Goldberg cannot hold both belts, even though I don't think there's anybody man enough to take them from him. WCW had to take the U.S. title belt away from Goldberg. They decided, the championship committee in their meetings this weekend, that two men would vie for it, Diamond Dallas Page and Bret the Hitman Hart. The men they thought were the two top contenders for the U.S. title. Of course, Page, a former U.S. heavyweight champion. And we're still hoping to have that match. Page is injured. We've not gotten a report on the severity of the injury. The only thing we know is that they're trying to buy a little bit of time so Page can get ready to wrestle here tonight.
Well, you know Page won't quit. He's not that kind of a guy.
We all know the history of Diamond Dallas Page, the People's Champion, a man who never, ever backs away from a challenge. But I just wonder about going into a matchup this high profile of a bout against an opponent as dangerous as Bret the Hitman Hart at less than 100%. Is that smart?
I don't think so, but he's more dangerous right now than he ever was because he's angry and he's mad and he's fuming inside because he feels he's been disrespected.
It's our first look in a long time at the great Muta. Muta and Masahiro Chono, two members of NWO Hollywood from the Far East, from New Japan Pro Wrestling, make their return to WCW Monday Nitro. First time for Muta in quite a while, Mike.
Two of the top guns from the NWO Black and White, I guess, judging from the colors that they wear to the ring. NWO Black and White representation in the Orient with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, the great Muta, former World's Heavyweight Champion, IWGP World's Title holder. That's the World's Champion of Japan. His tag team partner, Masahiro Chono, who will be headlining the Osaka Dome, a huge baseball stadium on August the 8th in Osaka, Japan, where he will challenge Tatsumi Fujinami for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. These are two of the big guns from Japan.
And they're going to get things going in a hurry against the Dancing Dodos of Alex Wright and the Disco Inferno. If there's been any lack of focus on anyone, it has to be certainly this duo. And Muta, not losing a step from the last time we saw him, still one of the most fierce competitors on any continent in any wrestling ring around the world.
Well, they didn't come all the way from Japan just to dance. They're NWO, and I feel sorry for Disco and Alex right now. Well, not really, but...
Well, no, neither do I, in a way, but when you think about what Hogan began last week, when you think about what Bret Hart started on Thursday, what he continued here tonight, what has happened with Hall and the Giant winning the World Tag Team Championship, with NWO Hollywood going in the production truck and pulling the video out in midstream. You can definitely say that even though Hogan lost the world title back on July 6th, the power, the influence of NWO Hollywood has been stronger than ever. It's the old adage, but it rings true. They're more dangerous when they're on the defense than they are at any time in the world.
Well, they're more dangerous when they're wounded, and they're wounded.
Right.
That's another thing that's not a coincidence. Ever since losing that title, Hogan and company, well, they've promised to do everything they can to once again become the most powerful group in professional wrestling.
You know, we're not going to stop with that, fans. You know, we still have scheduled, and we don't know the severity of the injury again, DDP. We still have scheduled Diamond Dallas and Curt Hennig, or Diamond Dallas and Bret the Hitman Hart for the U.S. title. But Curt Hennig is here. We saw him. And here's a cover quickly by Disco Inferno. 1, 2. We do understand that still to come. It's going to be another NWO struggle tonight. Curt Hennig will go up against the total package Lex Luger on this program, as if we need any more friction between the two factions of the NWO.
Ring the bell, there'll be no dancing tonight.
Dragon screw leg whip, quickly followed up by that leg bar, working on the knee of Disco Inferno. He immediately taps out. And
oh, look at this. Scott Norton's here.
Scott Norton.
Big Scott Norton.
Big Scott Norton, one of the most dangerous men on any continent. Fans in Japan know all about him, and of course, here in the United States as well with NWO Hollywood. Norton, truly one of the toughest men in our sport. And look at this.
And we're not talking Ed, we're talking Scott Norton. Flash Norton.
Just back from a terrific tour of the Orient with New Japan. Scott Norton unbeaten on that tour of New Japan, and obviously NWO Japan a force to be reckoned with.
Just another show to the world by NWO Hollywood that they mean business. Holy smokes, we'll be back. Is this wild or what?
I love it. Oh.
Can you believe it? We have yet another hour of all this to go. Tonight, in hour number 3, we're not finished with NWO Hollywood against NWO Wolfpack. Curt Hennig and Lex Luger will go one-on-one based on the fight that we saw about an hour ago out back at the E Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And still scheduled, the battle to determine the new United States champion, the new #1 contender to the world title, Bret the Hitman Hart, and an injured Diamond Dallas Page, although we're not so sure how severe. It's all here in hour number 3 of Monday Nitro.
Well, if there's a breath left in his body, and I'm talking about DDP, he'll crawl out here.
As we await the appearance of the gorgeous Nitro Girls, once again, I want to remind you that on Wednesday, August 5th, Thunder returns to the airwaves. We will not be back on the air till Wednesday, August 5th for Thunder. It will originate in Casper, Wyoming, at the Casper Event Center. Tickets to box office. No, what's this about? That's our trainer, Danny Young, and coach, as we call him. He got Kimberly and walked away.
Oh, that can't be good.
No, that don't look good at all. I mean, to come out during their dance number and take her away.
The wife of Diamond Dallas Page, one of the leaders of course, the leader of the Nitro Girls.
This could be serious.
That does not look good. Now, fans, we're gonna hopefully get an update because something very, very bad is going on here.
Did you see the expression on her face when she turned to leave? It was just pale, just blank.
All right, fans, let me, as best I can, finish this. Casper Event Center. Box office, all usual outlets, Wednesday, August 5th, and then Thursday, August 13th. Thunder comes to Fargo Dome in Fargo, North Dakota. Tickets at the box office, Sunmar, Discontent, Dayton's, and the NDSU Memorial Union. We'll talk about Hartford, Chicago, Rockford, and Providence in a few moments.
I'm going to be in Rockford Friday.
You are going to be in Rockford Friday. As fans, I'm trying to concentrate on doing my job here and announcing these important venues coming up, but it's very difficult when we're not so sure of the condition of Diamond Dallas Page.
You want me to run to the back and see?
I think you need to stay out here because every time you run to the back, someone's missing a wallet or two. The Ultimo Dragon and Tokyo Magnum in the next matchup.
Just two, huh?
All right. Let me say this. Friday, July 24th, this Friday, tickets go on sale for our big event on August 23rd at the Metro Center in Rockford, Illinois. Tickets go on sale this Friday at the box office and Metro Ticket Center outlets. Bobby the Brain will be in Rockford, Illinois at the upper lobby of the Rockford Metro Center Friday morning, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Signing autographs, meeting the fans when tickets go on sale for Rockford this coming Friday.
And if you want, you can leave your wallets in the lower lobby about 9:45.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they won't bring them with them when they're shaking hands with you. Ultimo Dragon wipes out Tokyo Magnum, who, it's very obvious, wants to dance as much as Disco Inferno and Alex Wright.
Seems like he almost idolizes that tag team, especially Alex Wright. Great back heel trip by the Dragon in his teacher versus student matchup.
Oh! And we say teacher versus student, Mike, because here's a young man, much like many of the young Japanese stars we've seen, who has been training under the guidance of Ultimo Dragon.
Tokyo Magnum, one of about a dozen wrestlers who, trying to emulate the Dragon, have moved to Mexico City from Japan to train at his dojo. The familiarity of these two men, well, obviously they're going to be so familiar with each other's moves. To vary the offense in this one, keep your other man, incredibly, just skidded right off of his face with the bottom of his boots.
I like that.
I think that's a little bit more vicious than we've come to know from the Ultimo Dragon. But Tokyo Magnum trying to fire back. You know, it's really hard to focus on any match when you talk about the impact that NWO Hollywood has had on this one night in the first 2 hours of this program. Probably as much or more than ever before. Look at the Dragon once again. Look how vicious he is.
Yeah, the amazing thing is we haven't even seen or heard from Hogan yet. We've been promised that he's going to come out later.
Don't wish for bad things.
And the celebration that Goldberg touched off back on July 6th certainly is a celebration that continues with the millions of Goldberg fans around the world. But NWO Hollywood, they have been on the offensive since that time, and many people have felt their wrath. 1-2, got a 2 count from Tokyo Magnum, including their own members, Scott Hall and Eric Bischoff last week. And then Kevin Nash at the end of the program last week. And then what about what Bret Hart did to Rey Mysterio and Juventud last Thursday on Thunder? And then tonight, members of the Wolfpack, Sting and Kevin Nash, Diamond Dallas Page, severely beaten. Now, yeah, I know, we didn't see anybody beat up Diamond Dallas Page, but it's not too hard. When it looks and it smells, it's NWO Hollywood, I can tell you that.
Brainbuster applied by the Dragon. Looks to the crowd, it's time. Dragon Sleeper.
Good night.
Dragon Sleeper after this onslaught by the Dragon, almost an afterthought.
Perfect positioning, middle of the ring.
Teacher,
Tokyo,
1,
yeah.
student, 0.
And the teacher really kicked it into high gear for the student that time.
Took him to school, you might say.
I guess he did, and cast an eye towards him.
I remember my teacher, Mrs. Perrette, tried to put that hold on me one time, a third. I don't want to go into it.
Yeah, it's too bad she didn't keep it on for quite a while. Or maybe she did, and maybe that's what's wrong.
Who knows?
All right, it's time for the old Slim Jim replay. Here it is again, Brain.
Take a look at, I like this guy, Tokyo Magnum. He's got a lot of style. If he just forgets about dancing a little bit and concentrates more on his wrestling ability, this guy's gonna be great. But he's in there with the teacher. He's in there with the man who taught him how to wrestle, the Ultimo Dragon. And he's putting the student to sleep. Watch him point. Now, I've had enough. Ring that bell. Good night. So.
Snap into a Slim Jim with our Slim Jim replay. Your winner, the Ultimo Dragon. In this broadcast, still to come, an update on the injury of DDP, who's supposed to go in the ring against Bret the Hitman Hart. Kurt Hennig against the total package Lex Luger. And who knows whatever. Stay with us. Would you stop it?
Awesome.
We're back, and this happened just moments ago, earlier tonight. As Sting had the Scorpion Deathlock on Scott Hall, in comes Bret the Hitman Hart. A shoving match ensues. This was an impromptu World Tag Team Battle bout. That gives Scott Hall the opening, an opening that he walked right through, putting the outsider's edge on Sting, and thus, Scott Hall and the Giant, NWO Hollywood, new World Tag Team Champions.
With a little help from the Hitman.
Go ahead, Mike.
I hate to draw conclusions. I was just looking at that replay. I didn't notice it the first time. But did you notice that at the point when Bret Hart came out, it was when Sting had the Scorpion applied, and he almost seemed to be motioning to Sting like, that's my move. Well, think of how close the Sharpshooter and the Scorpion are.
Fans, please stay with us. So far tonight, it's been full of surprises, and I'm sure there are more to come.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. It's all tonight, because tonight we have the total package Lex Luger. Tonight against Kurt Hennig. Tonight we still have scheduled Bret the Hitman Hart against Diamond Dallas Page. That's injuries pending. We're not so sure about that. And the winner of the match will be the United States Heavyweight Champion, a U.S. title belt that Goldberg had to vacate when he won the world title. Those of you who have been following the sport know that's only natural that when you win the world title, you have to give up any other title that you have. So the vacated title will be filled here tonight, and I don't think there's any question, even before the match gets underway, Bret Hart has the upper hand on that.
Well, think about the stature. Think about the prestige of the United States Heavyweight Championship belt. If you look at Goldberg's accomplishments, he used that United States title as a stepping stone to gain the World's Heavyweight Championship belt.
It's going to be Scott Norton against Jim Powers, two big, powerful men going at it. And, you know, we mentioned earlier when Norton came in, when we saw Muta and Masahiro Chono go at it, that Norton was feared and well known on many continents as truly one of the most dangerous men. Here's the man, you know, we've talked about this running thread about how Hollywood Hogan has gathered these great athletes around him, and it seems as if one of these stories or one of the running themes here is the fact that Hogan, with the deep pockets, with all the money, has a lot of money to spend. Thus, Scott Hall turns his back on his friend, Kevin Nash, and a man who literally, wrestling fans have come to know, is nothing but a thug for hire, Scott Norton.
Oh yeah, he's been known for that for years.
Known
you give
for
him
that
money,
as well, yeah.
Yeah, he'll do a number for you. He'll beat up anybody you want. He'll beat up your mom. He'll beat up your brother-in-law. He'll beat up anybody you want to put in front of him. Just pay him.
Makes it tough to compete when you have the unlimited financial situation that Hollywood Hogan and the NWO Black and White have.
Well, see, he promises people a lot of things too. You know, he's a glad-hander.
But he's effective, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, it works.
My. New World Tag Team Champions here tonight. One thing about being with us on WCW Monday Nitro when we're on the air for 3 hours live every Monday is you never know what's going to happen next. I mean, we never thought there would even be a World Tag Team title bout on this program, and there was, and they're new champions. We found out earlier that DDP would wrestle Bret the Hitman Hart. We didn't know that he would get injured, or now we don't know how severe the injury is.
Well, I didn't like the look of it when the trainer came and got his wife Kimberly and took her to the back, and I haven't seen him in here yet.
Hopefully we'll get an update anytime now. Obviously JJ doing the right thing for DDP and for WCW of holding the match off as long as he can so DDP can recoup and get as close to 100% as he possibly, if he can at all. Look at this, nothing.
Absolutely no impact from those lariats. Fall away slam by Norton.
Just one big tough guy. I mean, he's a tough guy.
Total physical domination of Jim Powers.
And Jim Powers is one big, powerful man. Up.
You know, he did this earlier. Do you think that's any coincidence, Tony?
Not at all.
No, it isn't. He's sending a message to Kevin Nash and the NWO Wolfpack with that power bomb.
Look at the size of his chest to his back.
Play some games here.
The biggest guy.
With the black and white, you ain't gonna turn.
Tell you what he's doing too. He's sending a black and white message to everyone, including the one and only world heavyweight champion Goldberg.
The war is on.
The war is on. And Goldberg is the champ, but I can tell you right now, the black and white continues their dominance. Including this we heard from Eric Bischoff that saw earlier in this program.
Before we go, I know you heard this one. The state of California is putting a new tax on oversized vehicles. I hear they're going to start with Jay Leno's chin. I mean, what is that? That's like 10 in a row.
Undeniably, he may no longer have the World Heavyweight title, but Hollywood Hogan is the most dangerous, most violent individual this sport has ever seen. A special look at the one and only Hollywood Hogan.
There's nothing he won't do.
What an impact, and you take a look at some of the incidents over the past year, 2 years from Hollywood Hogan. You know, the man is so dangerous. Goldberg is the world champion in a historic, great night of wrestling. But if we look back on what has happened since July 6th, safely say it's been all white and black.
You know, we mentioned earlier that we hadn't seen and we hadn't heard from Hollywood Hogan tonight on Nitro. But I'll tell you one thing, we sure felt his impact in the first couple of hours of this broadcast.
No doubt about that. Now you're going to see him. Now you're going to hear from him with the disciple, Eric Bischoff.
Here they come all together, members of NWO Hollywood, including the international members as well. you think about what Bret Hart has done, what Buff Bagwell and Big Papa Pump have all done here tonight, what he laid down last week, they have the World Tag Team Championship. They've laid out Diamond Dallas Page and may have taken a step towards Bret Hart becoming the United States champion here. I tell you guys, there is no question that NWO Hollywood, led by that man, Hollywood Hogan, are in charge of this sport.
You know some, Tony, I heard that some people have a list and they put people's names on it that they want to get back at. I hear Hogan's got a list. I hear he's got a big list with a lot of names on it. Shows you how sick that puppy is.
He had a gut check last week on Nitro.
Yep.
Looks like all the family members back assembled again. NWO Black and White, large and in charge.
NWO.
Hey, by the way, we're really sorry that Karl Malone couldn't be here tonight, but he's licking his wounds. So we decided to bring you the real stars in the world of entertainment.
You know, Salt Lake City, when I hit the airport today, the disciple and myself were overwhelmed at the worshipers that bowed at the man, the God, the Almighty, the ruler of professional wrestling. And yes, NWOites, we love you. Now, without further ado, there ain't nothing but love in the house for Scott Hall. After he stood toe-to-toe with Hollywood, after he showed me his heart and his soul, it's only fitting that him and the true giant of professional wrestling get the titles that they deserve. How about one big round of applause for our new champions? Now when we talk about the ultimate power, what can make a man turn cheek? What can make a man bare a soul? There's one word: Hollywood Almighty, brothers. Marcus Bagwell and superstar Scotty Steiner, Big Papa Pump, I admire your worship and dedication. Now, as far as me turning the world over, as far as me conquering wrestling, the next man that's gonna get gunned down is that fluke, that paper champion Goldberg. And now that the East-West connection, Chono and the Great Muta flew in only to pay homage to Hollywood, the whole world will know without a shadow of a doubt that the NWO Black and White Hollywood wields only universal power. Brothers, konnichiwa. You know something? Wrestling is at our feet. Hollywood is our next thing. Now that Eric Bischoff, Eazy-E, got out here and proved that he's the funniest man in the world, Jay Leno, take a back seat, Jack, to the man that's gonna take over the late night scene. And when you think about the NWO, you gotta think about the greatest there is, was, and ever will be. Bret Hart, the man that will be the new U.S. heavyweight champion, is ready.
And I know we dogged Diamond Dallas Page. I know we humiliated that homely Karl Malone. But Diamond Dallas Page, you say you're a champion, show you're a man, make us believe in you, and give the Hitman the fight of his life. Because at the end of the night, with the tag team belts intact, with Bret Hart as our new U.S. heavyweight champion, with the East-West connection, Chona and Muda here, everybody will know that Black and White Hollywood is not only here for life. Everybody will know that Black and White Hollywood DDP is just too.
Give it up for the real icon, the real champion of your world, Chona-san, Muda-san. It is so good to have you here. The new tag team champions of the world, and later tonight, yes, the U.S. heavyweight champion. Oh my God, life is good.
NWO.
All right, I'm told we've got another look back at Eric Bischoff, thinking he is funnier than Jay Leno, thinking he's going to rule the late night scene. Take you back to NWO Nightcap as it aired earlier this program.
But really, listen, I had a chance to meet Jay a couple of weeks ago, and Rodzilla and Hollywood Hogan took care of business. And actually, there's nothing wrong with Leno's chin that a few hundred years of evolution won't fix.
If I could use this term, the White and Black have been red hot, including what happened in the tag team match as we concluded Thunder this past Thursday in Oakland, California. Conan, DDP against Scott Hall and Curt Hennig. Here's what went down. We'll stay to the conclusion, and a tag has been made, so stay with us.
A fresh Conan.
Conan in, hitting down.
Rolling clothesline. Wolfpack on fire now.
Rude's up.
Interference from outside. Meanwhile, in the ring, there's the Hennigplex.
1, 2, 3.
He got him.
Curt Hennig with a Hennigplex, and Scott Hall getting the win. Of course, Hall and the Giant went on to become World Tag Team Champs tonight, and Curt Hennig later on will face the Total Package Lex Luger, and it will be none other than Bret the Hitman Hart and Diamond Dallas Page to wrestle for the vacated U.S. title. Goldberg had to vacate the title when he won the World Heavyweight Championship back on July 6th. Eddie Guerrero makes his way out, and that gives me the opportunity to tell you this. Monday Nitro comes to Hartford, Connecticut, and the Civic Center Monday, August 17th. Tickets go on sale this Friday, July 24th at the Hartford Civic Center box office and Ticketmaster. Plus, Bret the Hitman Hart and the Nitro Girls will be at the Civic Center Friday at 9 a.m. When tickets go on sale, they'll be there till noon. Monday Nitro returns to the United Center in Chicago Monday, August 24th. Tickets on sale this coming Friday, July 24th at the United Center box office and Ticketmaster. Plus, Goldberg will be in Dominic's at 3145 South Ashland Avenue Friday, 11 a.m. to noon when tickets go on sale. And this Saturday, July 25th, tickets go on sale for a big Sunday event, Sunday, August 16th in Providence, Rhode Island, the Civic Center. Tickets to the box office at Ticketmaster. Bret Hart, the Nitro Girls will be at the box office Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30, and at the Warwick Mall at noon. Look at this with Conan.
You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Big Dog's in this bad boy. Yeah.
Big Dog Antoine Carr of Utah. How about that?
Oh, he was in the front row, wasn't he, at Bash at the Beach?
No party like a Wolfpack party, because a Wolfpack party never stops. Yeah.
And Antoine coming out now. Boy, what a reception he gets from the Utah faithful here at the E Center. Look at the stare down of Eddie Guerrero by Carr.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Yo, Wolfpack, somos pocos pero locos. Let me speak on this. ¡Órale! ¡Arriba la raza! Yo, Big Dog, why don't you spit something at him? Let me tell you something. Utah Jazz and Utah and the Big Dog are about it.
How about that, huh?
I never thought I'd see Isaac Hayes in a NWO Junior.
Antoine Carr, you lame brain.
I don't know. I just saw him with the chains on that one album that time.
You don't know. You said a mouthful right there. Eddie Guerrero and Conan. 2 men know each other quite well. And Antoine Carr in there gives a high five there to Conan. And Eddie Guerrero takes an opening. Don't forget, we still have not had a final word on DDP's injury, but he's scheduled to face Bret the Hitman Hart later on. Plus, in this program, Lex Luger and Kurt Hennig. How far will NWO Hollywood go? We're going to find out over the course of this program as Conan of the Wolfpack goes down hard.
I'd like to know how far Conan's pants are going to stay on.
Hey, Kurt Hennig against Lex Luger. Just another one of those matchups involving the New World Order factions. Wolfpack against NWO Hollywood. That also yet to come.
Based on what has happened with Scott Hall and the Giant becoming tag team champs here tonight, you got to say that the black and the white are on the advantage, are on the offense. Up and way down.
That man means business.
Conan sends Eddie in, smarting from that one, picks him up again.
Oh, Gorilla press slam that time.
Like a dart.
Incredible elevation back to back by K-Dog.
Uh-oh.
That's the Big Dog.
That is the Big Dog. Wrong man at the wrong time.
Slam dunk him.
What a reception for our sport in this fine city.
Look at Conan. He better quit playing cards. He's losing his butt.
And to see Antoine Carr here just solidifies that.
And how about the love affair with the Wolfpack?
Oh.
That continues every city that we go.
You're not kidding, it does. And certainly I didn't want to talk that much about what went down at the Bash of the Beach as far as the mailman Karl Malone is concerned, but certainly Bischoff has had a lot of fun at the expense of the mailman here tonight.
Doesn't seem like he likes Leno either, does it?
Huh. I think he wants to be like Leno. I think he's trying to show up. The master of late night is what he's trying to do.
He's made fun of his chin. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, have laugh track will travel.
That's exactly right. Up and down. Oh! Conan picks Eddie up. Boy, it's been one high-impact match, and Conan has been on top of his game. Cover 1, 2. He got a 2 count. Only that time as Eddie kicked away. Let's not deny what Eddie Guerrero has meant to this sport. Former champ, U.S. champ as well. Cruiserweight champ, Eddie Guerrero has almost done it all. And he certainly has had his problems with his family, but those are problems that he's brought upon himself. I don't think there's any question about that, Mike.
Of course, it was just over a week ago that he defeated his nephew, Chavo Guerrero Jr., to win the hair of his nephew at Bash of the Beach. Back kick by Conan. 2 hands full of Eddie's hair, face first to the canvas.
And a lateral press. We've got only a 2 count, says Billy Silverman, the referee. Still waiting on word. Diamond. And oh! Wait a minute. Quick cover, then we'll get to that. 2 count. Only that time. Waiting on word about the injury to DDP. As far as we know, the match will go on.
in this house, along with the P-Horn. That's right, Pepe in this house, baby. You know why? Because I'm Bowdy Bowdy and Rowdy Rowdy. Woo!
That's that poor, sad Chavo.
Check it out, K-Dog. Check it out. I'm Bowdy Bowdy, baby. Check it out with Pepe. That's right, baby. Pepe in this house.
Cover 1, 2.
He needs shock treatments.
He may be getting them.
Come on, baby.
Maybe
check
too
it.
late.
Maybe a lobotomy wouldn't hurt.
Check it, K-Dog. C-Dog right here, baby. C-Dog in this house with... What's up?
Eddie gets it off.
I'm Bowdy Bowdy and Rowdy Rowdy. Stoosh. Check it, little trooper. Yo, little trooper, check it out, baby. Check it, little trooper. You like my new garb? Hey, give me back Pepe, brother. Little trooper, come on. Give me back.
Tries to whack Conan with it. Who decks Chavo Jr. And this fight's going to be thrown out because the horse has been brought in the ring. Oh! Holy smokes!
My goodness!
This is what you get right here, baby. That's right, baby.
That was Air Eddie. That's what that was.
Forget this.
Talk about hang time. Wow.
All right. Next on the agenda, NWO Hollywood, NWO Wolfpack, Luger and Hennig, still to come, DDP and Bret Hart for the vacated U.S. title.
Where's Isaac?
Fans, you never know what surprises are around the corner. What if Diamond Dallas Page cannot continue? Would that mean Bret Hart, by default, wins the U.S. title, which, of course, as you know by now, Goldberg had to vacate when he won the world title back on July 6th. Does that mean the match is postponed?
You have to talk to JJ on this one.
That's not a call for us. It's time for the executive committee to step in at that point if DDP can't go. What's the latest we've heard? Has there been an update?
Nothing here.
I sent my man back there, one of the runners. He hasn't come back, and I wanted to find out from Kimberly what's wrong, but he hasn't come back yet either.
Kurt Hennig, Rick Rude, and now the Wolfpack. Go ahead, Mike. Don't let me step on you. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, I was going to say this isn't denominator. No, I'm just going to talk right over you, Tony. This isn't just NWO Black and White versus the Red and Black. Because Kurt Hennig and Rick Rude were recently associated with the Wolfpack. There's payback in store for them from Lex Luger.
Payback, I would think so. The first Donnybrook we saw was outside of the East Center. Had a little, they all had their own trailers out there, a little courtyard kind of, and I mean, there were bodies everywhere from both factions of the NWO. And then earlier tonight, NWO Hollywood in the persona of the Giant and Scott Hall, thanks to Bret the Hitman Hart, became World Tag Team Champions.
Which makes the NWO Black and White a little stronger than they were when they came to the building. A lot stronger.
They had the momentum, I don't think there was any question. Momentum that we all thought they had lost when Goldberg won the world title on July 6th. How wrong we were.
I guess we should have been prepared. Last Monday on Nitro, Hogan talked about bringing the NWO Black and White to the position of the most powerful force in professional wrestling.
And a week later, they've done just that, haven't they? When you think about it.
When Hogan talks, mysterious things happen, don't they?
I guess that's a good way of putting it, Mike.
No, it goes like this. When Hogan talks, no, I can't say that. I think you know what I mean. That's what he is.
All right, it's going to be Luger and Hennig. Rude, as you can see, the bottom of your screen. What a duo this has been, Hennig and Rude. Luger trying to get out of their back elbow. It staggers Hennig. Throws him right down to the mat, but he quickly pops up. The animosity, in the face of this animosity, in the face of the problems that have occurred during the course of this one program, Luger has remained a cool customer. Came to the ring very deliberately, appreciate the adulation of the fans, and Luger has come to wrestle. Now,
well, that's part of the experience that the total package brings to the ring. And there they are, the boyhood friends. Now, one thing Kurt Hennig knows, he can always trust Rick Rude.
Well, you know, growing up, the word was always, if you get in a fight with Hennig, be careful, Rude's going to kick you from behind. If you get in a fight with Rude, Hennig's going to jump you. When you fought one of them, you always had to fight two of them.
Now he reaches for one of them, that's Hennig. By the lock, kicks down to the back of the head. Hennig to the attack again. Hennig now hauls off, running punt. Gonna do it again.
Really gets the force and momentum behind those kicks, doesn't he?
Hennig is one fine competitor.
Oh, is he ever.
You know, in his battles that he had trying to wrest the title from Goldberg, Hennig made a statement that really rang true. It's not to take anything away from Goldberg and that undefeated streak that has propelled him into superstardom in the sport, but Hennig is a man with around 3,500 matches under his belt. That says a lot. Of those 3,500 matches, he has won 75, 80, maybe 85% of them. Phenomenal record that he's had. Of course, Rick Rude as well, when he was wrestling and when he was a competitor, when he was world champion.
Well, like Kurt says, he's the wrestler that made Minnesota famous.
Well, that says a lot. If you really believe that, been some great wrestlers out of the state of Minnesota. Phenomenal wrestlers. Right now, Luger just trying to get back into this one. And Hennig is really, still we look over here and we see no update on the condition of DDP yet. Which makes us believe that he is going to wrestle. That if it's severe, he's not letting the word out, that it is going to happen.
Well, no one's talking. We can't get word.
That's probably the best thing. I mean, we want to know, but we do know it's scheduled to come up next. It's probably best to not let on.
But that didn't look good. The doctor coming out to get Kimberly to go back.
Curt Hennig's total domination of this matchup with Lex Luger, just another prime example of how the NWO Black and White has totally controlled this evening's Nitro.
Sleeper.
Got it on, and Luger has no place to go. He's in the center of the ring. And Charles Robinson checks in. Can Luger combat the sleeper? You know, sometimes they say, Brain, the more you fight it, the worse it gets.
That's right. But Luger's neck is so powerful. It's going to take him a while to put him out. Luger will fight it.
Robinson looking in again. Warning Rude to stay away. And you're right about the neck so big and powerful, because most men would have gone out by now, but Luger's trying to fight back. Lex Luger. Up goes Hennig. He got out of it. How about that for powering out of a sleeper hold?
He's wounded.
Both men are wounded. A lot of force for that belly to back by Luger. He is so strong, but Hennig back up again. Both men back up. Wild swing. Nobody home for that one. Atomic drop.
Oh!
And again. Luger runs over Hennig. How about that? Low bridge again.
What a Wolfpack comeback.
They want to rock in Salt Lake City, Utah. And they might get it. Oh, the referee caught down.
That was an accident there.
Of course it was.
He's going to rock him.
He is.
Here comes Rude.
Rude into the ring. He's going to rock Rude.
Oh, yeah.
He's got Rude rocked. And Hennig nails him from behind. Hooks a leg. Hennig plex. No, well, here he comes. 1, 2, 3.
He got him.
Rude was holding the leg as well. Rude was holding the leg. And Hennig steals one away.
There was no way Luger could have kicked out of that one.
Nothing at all.
Do you believe it? NWO Black and White fights back with a vengeance. Put another one in the win column.
They've certainly been dominant tonight.
Have they ever?
I don't like that.
For life.
You see, that's what happens. When you fight one, you got to fight them both.
Or fight them all.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Luger, unfortunately, the referee called in the wrong place, the wrong time. Hennig takes another win away from the Wolfpack, puts it in the win column for the Black and the White. And NW Hollywood, probably more than ever, has been dominant here tonight. And now still to come, the Hitman Hart could bring the U.S. belt into NW Hollywood as well. Here it is again, Brain.
Hennig's got him hooked. Takes him over in the Hennig suplex. Referee barely in position. Counts 1, 2, but notice Rick Rude is holding the foot of Lex Luger. There was no way he could power out of that one. The winner is Hennig and Rude.
Yeah, they sure are. Well, fans, we're going to answer a lot of questions when we come back. First of all, the condition of Diamond Dallas Page. Then DDP, Bret the Hitman Hart, coming up next, but here's what Bischoff had to say earlier on.
You know, Hollywood Hogan bought me a couple really cool Harleys. And one thing that really gets under my skin is Jay Leno, you know, trying to be a biker. I mean, come on, this guy is to a Harley Davidson what Monica Lewinsky is to a swimsuit calendar.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the WCW Monday Nitro main event. Tonight, a match that will be for the elimination of the #1 and #2 contenders for the World Heavyweight title, a chance to face Goldberg, and the winner will capture the vacant WCW United States Heavyweight Championship. Are you ready?
Yeah. Question is Paige?
We'll find out.
Salt Lake City, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, it's good to hear that.
Well, many people have said, called Bret Hart, rightfully so, troublemaker, instigator, whatever, but tonight call him an opportunist.
Coming to the ring at this time, representing NWO Hollywood, he weighs 236 pounds. Wearing black, white, and pink, he comes from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. One of the great superstars affiliated with NWO Hollywood. He declares himself to be the best there is, the best there ever was, and the best there ever will be. Ladies and gentlemen, the master of the sharpshooter, he is Bret Hitman Hart.
You joined us, and I'm sure you did early in this program. It came out demanding Paige to come out immediately. That was about 2 hours ago. And then, oddly enough, at the same time, our cameras caught DDP in a corner in a heap,
and now,
obviously
ladies
beaten up. And what's going to happen now? Sound like Buffer's getting ready to introduce DDP, but...
And you notice the Nitro girls haven't been out here either.
Please stand by.
All right. Buffer, we're told please stand by. Fans, we have no idea what's going to happen here.
Tony, it looks like one of the officials, I think, was running down to ringside.
Okay, and yeah, you're right. And here's some information, and we've been waiting for, I hope. Was that Scott Dickinson, one of the referees?
Yeah, it was Scott Dickinson that just ran to ringside.
What's going on now?
Fans, this does not look good. And I hate to say it, I
hope they don't award him that title like that.
I hope they don't either. We're still awaiting even word that Michael Buffer can even announce DDP's name here. This is horrible. It's a horrible turn of events when you think about the prestige of the United States Heavyweight Championship. And how many people wanted to see that diamond cutter. And there's a look at our entranceway, and still nothing.
Vacant.
I don't know where to go from here. We've not received an official word at our broadcast location. Oh, look at this.
And now, making his entrance to the ring, wearing black and blue, weighing 253 pounds. He comes to us from the Jersey Shore. He is the man who takes on any and all comers. He is the man famous for the deadly diamond cutter. He is the man who, regardless of his condition, will make his way to the ring tonight. He teamed up with Salt Lake City's own mailman Karl Malone for the Bash at the Beach. He's DDP, Diamond Dallas Page.
Boy, is he taking a beating.
Oh, look at his right leg heavily taped and
he doesn't look like he's any condition.
He had to literally drag himself to the ring. And I think Mark Curtis, the referee, stepped in and said, listen, you do not have to come out here if you don't want to. We understand your condition. But Page, we knew it all along. You would have to almost knock the man out, carry him out of the building before he would say no to this match. And he is conscious, so he is going at it. And I can tell you right now, this is the wrong man to go in injured against Bret Hart.
Tony, he's conscious. Just because the man has a pulse, to send him out there for this important of a matchup.
But he's not 100%.
No.
When you wrestle Bret Hart, you better be 100%.
To be honest with you, I don't even think he's 75%. He may not even be 60.
Well, one of his wheels is gone. You can see that. The ribs are all taped up. Did you see his face?
And think about Bret Hart and that sharpshooter. Take that into account as we see that already injured knee of Diamond Dallas Page.
Fans are chanting his name in unison here, trying to get the master of the Diamond Cutter, the people's champ, the blue-collar champ up, and it brought him to his feet. Momentarily, Bret Hart brings him back down in a hurry.
You know, an average man would be in a hospital right now, being attended to by physicians. What is wrong with this man? Why would you even come out and get into the ring in that condition?
He is what superstars are made of.
I'd like to find out from him what happened. What happened in the back there?
He may not even know. I mean,
that's right.
It may have been from behind, and knowing NWO Hollywood and their group, especially Bret Hart, Russian leg sweep, that's probably the way it happened, from behind.
There'll be another day, DDP. Give it up. There'll be another day. Don't take this beating.
Short leg drop that time. Standing position. Hart now going to the work. Going to the legs here.
No-win situation.
Sharpshooter time. Page.
He can't fight back.
No, he got it over. He got it over. He's pulling all he can do to get to the ropes. He's reaching for all he's got. He's got it.
He had to do it. He had to. No other place to go. He couldn't get out of it. He had to. That's determination. That's more determination right there than you'll probably ever see out of another athlete. He knew he was hooked right in the middle of that ring. No place to go. Had to crawl. Had to.
You know, I'm thinking, here comes again.
He's just toying with him at this point.
He's got a...
But look at Page fight.
Sharpshooter, now he's got to get to the ropes again, but can he? Come on, Dallas.
Got a long way to go to make it to the ropes this time.
Look at the fight in this man.
Reach down deep.
How does he have the energy left to even try and fight back?
The fans chant DDP. Shut out the pain as best he cannot do it. Calling the bell, it's over.
He's a human being. He had to.
It's over. Let go of the darn thing. It's over. Let go of it. Jerk.
Now there's your new United States Heavyweight Champion. Great.
In one night.
The best there is?
Yeah, forget about that.
The best there was.
Oh, did the NWO Black and White faction make their presence known this evening in Salt Lake City?
On Monday, July 20th, 1998, well, the EMTs are out now. On Monday, July 20th, 1998, NWO Hollywood rose to the top, winning the World Tag Team Championship, winning the U.S. Championship, trying to, as best they could, make a mockery of Jay Leno, taking out Lex Luger, taking out Rick Steiner. Wait a second.
Look at that cheap shot from Scott Hall.
Page is carried off in a gurney by the EMTs. They just threw him on there and got him out of here as quickly as they could. Well, fans, this is if you're an NWO Hollywood fan, you gotta love this, but overall, this is a horrible scene to end WCW Monday Nitro on Page. There's the scene of the crime right there, our interview location in the back.
And they got the meat wagon out back.
All perpetrated by NWO Hollywood, all a grand scheme, a grand plan to take apart not only the Wolfpack, but WCW. Bret the Hitman Hart is the United States Heavyweight Champion. For DDP, an update hopefully this weekend on WCW Saturday night, 2 hours on TBS at 6:05.
A big night. The black and white. Big.
Mike Tenay, Larry Zbyszko, Mean Gene, Bobby Flanagan, Tony Schiavone. Good night from Salt Lake City.
Good night.
Hope they follow in this, jerks.
Choking his beard.